So the question is Bitcoin the only real crypto? So this is actually an argument that many people have, and there are these people who believe Bitcoin is the only real crypto. They're also known as Bitcoin maxis. They believe that there is no other real serious crypto. I think if you ask me, people who say that, they're being a little bit dishonest. If not to others, then to themselves. I feel that they're lying at least to themselves, that it's not true. I don't believe it's true, and I think there's proof out there, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. But let's start with what there is going for Bitcoin. It was the first coin out there, the first crypto. It has stood the test of time. It's even had splits in its community, and there were at least a couple of major forks, possibly more, but at least a couple of major ones. And the Bitcoin that we know today is the one that won out, right? When I say won out, what I mean by that is, I mean the one that has the biggest market cap and the biggest, the largest price, the greatest adoption of all crypto. So it's the most popular one, at least in terms of a popularity contest. It's the winner. And there was a time when, and people still do compare it to, you may have heard of the second biggest crypto, which is very different. It's called Ethereum. There was a time when people used to compare the two, and there's a stat called Bitcoin dominance, and it compares, if I remember correctly, the market cap between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that has wavered over the years. So there was a time when I think some people believed that Ethereum could possibly take over the mantle of number one, because Ethereum has over time shown a great amount of utility. It is able to do what's called decentralized finance. It is able to potentially replace the world of traditional finance, and ultimately finance, what it boils down to is people borrowing and people lending. That's what it boils down to. That's why banks exist, and to borrow and to lend. That's what the entire financial system is actually really about, and that's why the financial system has exploded over the years. Because someone, I mean, you'll get this even in a prison with a very limited currency system, let's say, almost closed system. There is still borrowing and lending. Human beings will always want to borrow and lend, and they've been doing that ever since they started to have forms of money, even if they were just seashells or something like that, or rocks. So Ethereum runs decentralized finance, and it could potentially replace the financial system. But let's get back to Bitcoin again, right? Why has it had this amazing success? Why does it keep going up and other cryptos don't? Even Ethereum doesn't go up. Ethereum looks more like an oscillator right now. It's bouncing up and down, but Bitcoin just goes up and up and up from strength to strength, widens its dominance over the rest of the crypto market. And the reason for that is because it's basically an incredible store of value. It is so strong, it is so secure, it is so unbreakable. And why is that? It's basically held together with incredibly strong mathematics. The entropy of your accounts, your private keys that secure your accounts, is said to be mathematically greater than the number of atoms in the universe, right? That's how strong Bitcoin is. And it's an incredible store of wealth, which is very important to human beings. Previously, it was thought that the strongest store of wealth was gold. And although gold still has a greater market cap than Bitcoin, it's only regarded as having that because people are still learning and using for the first time Bitcoin. A lot of people believe that one day Bitcoin will overtake and far surpass gold, right? And it's still got some way to go. At the time that I record this, then the market cap of gold is about 20 trillion almost, and the market cap of Bitcoin is almost 2 trillion. So gold is 10 times more. If the prediction that Bitcoin will take over gold, and it looks to be a far better store of wealth than gold, and that's where most of gold's value comes from, then we're looking at Bitcoin doing a 10x from here. 10 times gains at minimum, if you believe that it will eventually usurp gold as a store of wealth in terms of adoption around the world. So yeah, a lot of people believe, a significant amount of people believe, that really Bitcoin is the only real crypto because it's all about the store of wealth. Now, what about the other cryptos? Well, if you look at like the top 10, the top 20, even 5 years ago, most of the ones that are there are not there anymore. Okay, especially if you look 10 years ago, most of them just aren't there. They come, they get a lot of hype, they get a lot of people who are really shilling for these coins and saying, they always say the same thing, they've got amazing potential, what could they become? And then in the end they disappear. And really pretty much the only coin that anyone with any degree could say with a degree of confidence will still be in the top 10 years from now, apart from Bitcoin, the only coin is maybe Ethereum, and the rest of them, forget it, just forget it. And the reason is because Ethereum does decentralized finance. It's got a high amount of development, and to be honest though, recently it's kind of looked under threat from a similar alternative coin called Solana, and a few others that are starting to bite at the heels. So there is nothing like Bitcoin. It's truly unique. Ethereum, used to be able to say there's nothing like Ethereum. Today, I'm not so sure that there's nothing like it. There's nothing as mature as Ethereum, but there are other coins that are also getting a rapid increase in development that may one day challenge it. So this is yet another reason why people would say that Bitcoin is the only real crypto. And I can understand why they're saying that. I don't think it's the only real crypto. I think that there's always going to be a number two, and that number two will do decentralized finance, just like Ethereum has proved. But it may not be Ethereum. So yeah, in my opinion, I don't think it's true to say Bitcoin is the only real crypto. I think it's the daddy. I think it always will be the daddy, and I think nothing will replace it as a store of wealth. It's just, there's no going back. Too many people are in love with it, right? There's no going back. But in my opinion, there will always be two real cryptos. It's just that the second one could potentially be replaced by another in the coming years. But I believe that Bitcoin will always be the number one crypto, absolutely, without a doubt. And I think it's the only crypto that for the next probably 10 to 20 years is going to keep climbing and keep growing in adoption. And the other ones below, Ethereum or whatever might replace it, not necessarily the case. It might be that they reach a kind of a ceiling in terms of adoption. It was thought at one point that DeFi would take over the traditional finance world. I don't think it looks like that anymore. I think it could be that it faces too many obstacles, and it could be that maybe a lot of people are quite happy to trust the banks and don't necessarily want to use decentralized finance on Ethereum or on crypto. I believe it's not clear now in future what might happen there. But Bitcoin, I really do believe it's going to replace gold one day. So let me know what you think. That's just my opinion. That's what I think. Let me know what you think, and give this video a thumbs up if you found it interesting, and I will speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.